Okay, today we're going to swap the factory supplied shift lever for the high linkage lever. As you can see, it's about probably a bit over 100 mils higher once it's got the shift knob on. We do have another high lever as well, the high linkage lever, although it needs to be mounted to the floor of the car, but it will allow you to move the shift lever backwards or forwards. So first up, we'll take all the factory parts off. The reverse lockout lever. We better take the shift knob off next. The rear mounting bolt. Now the next one that's a bit tricky to see here is there's a M5 button head bolt at the top of the housing here. We've got to pull that out. And we're going to replace that with this countersunk M5 bolt, the insert, and then into this bracket. Now this is going to work to just lock everything down into position. Tighten that up, that'll slip in, and as you can see there's no movement already, just with that there. We will fit the M8x90 button head through there with a thin washer. Don't reuse the aluminium washer. Now put the actual lever on. This will actually also fit the left and the right lever options of our shifter. Fit the M8 bolt with a bit of grease, because this does need to be done up quite tight to stop it slipping. And a bit of grease will give you a lot more clamping force. But at the same time, make sure you don't get grease on the shaft itself, or it's going to lubricate it and help it slip. Next up, the linkage. Now we should have actually done this earlier, but you've got to fit the rod ends to this rod and make sure they're the same length from the pivot to that pivot. If you don't match the lengths there, the shifter leverage won't be like linear. You won't get the same forwards and backwards, so it could feel too hard to shift in one direction. Fit this. Put your reverse lockout lever back on. Now remember with that, we've actually got to pull the shaft through, because this shaft normally has a bit of play in and out, and that can be a source of rattling if you don't pull that through so it's not sitting on the other side as you do it. Tighten up like that. Then we've got left just to fit the shift knob. Remember, there is some little washers supplied whenever you get a new kit. These are intended to go under the shift knob there to shim it up or down to align your shift pattern. And then it should be ready to go. As you can see, we've got it's like a linear motion in the end. We're not getting a tilt on the shift knob as we shift. It's keeping it vertical the whole time, which does feel pretty good.